Before I start off the video, I want to apologize for saying that his name was Jason was fucking terrible. That's all I wanted to say. But yeah, this is Derrick Yasha, and today I'm going to review the documentary Crystal Lake Memories, okay? And I'm only going to talk about it a little bit, alright? I'm going to give my views on it and my thoughts, okay? And then the final verdict of this. Okay, well, first of all, um, great opening to this. Okay, you have Corey Feldman at the campsite, of course, telling the story about Jason, and then from there on, it goes to the documentary. Okay, of course, with a lot of interviews, but some of the people do not come back. Like Kevin Bacon does not come back. Mainly other people, because they died. Rest in peace to everybody. Okay, that couldn't come back for this documentary. Some of the people, I'm sorry. Okay, but mainly for Friday 13th. It was a really good chapter. Okay, chapter one. It was a really good chapter because they go in depth about the film, and pretty much it was gonna be originally like a sex film or something, and then it became like um like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for because I can't think straight right now. I'm sorry. A slasher film. There we go. A slasher film. Okay, so they wanted to, because originally it was going to be a cheesy goofball movie, of course, with a lot of sex scenes in it. But they decided, hey, why don't we make this into a slasher movie? Let's go watch Halloween and rip off Halloween in a good way. Okay? So yeah, they go in depth about all of that and how much money the film made and this and that, of course. And some of the stuff we already know, okay, because we heard it in like the older documentaries, like and the one that came with Camp Crystal Lake box set, and his name was Jason. Okay, so some of the stuff here, it's like they talk about stuff that we already know, and then they bring in new stuff as well. All right, so yeah, my thoughts on that first chapter, it was good. It was good for that hour. And then we get to the really good one, which is Friday 13th Part 2 and Chapter 2 of the documentary. Okay, so this is the same here, but it was a lot different. Okay, like yeah, they talked about some of the old stuff, and then there was some new stuff. Okay, there was some new stuff. Okay, on how originally they were going to shoot the part where the guy and the girl is having sex, and of course Jason stabs them with a spear. Well, of course that the camera was very angled, weird in the theatrical cut. Okay, of the movie that came out in the theaters, but originally they wanted to put the camera in front and basically put it on top of them. If you understand what saying, okay? Okay, so what I'm saying is here's them, okay? They're laying flat on the bed, and then here's the camera. It's angled real weird, and of course that they wanted to show the spear going into them through like that, something like that, right? But as where they shot it differently in the theatrical cut where the spear goes right through them, and then you just see the spear like that. Okay, so yeah, that was awesome that they mentioned that. Okay, I'm trying to think what else there was. Oh yeah, about the original ending. Of course, that the movie was supposed to end with Pamela Voorhees. It zooms in on Pamela's Voorhees head, and of course that her eyes open. And of course, she smiles, which I would have really liked that ending, but I'm glad that they did not. I'm glad they went with the original ending to part two. And part two was a really good movie. Okay, it was a really good movie. And the movie grossed a lot of money and stuff like that. And chapter two was really good. Okay, and chapter three, of course, chapter three was really good. Okay, yeah, I know there was some of the old stuff, but mainly some of the new stuff was about the 3D, on how difficult it was to shoot in 3D, and also that they had to align the shots perfect, how they had to align them perfect. Because, see, if it was not perfect, then you're not going to get the whole 3D effect. You get what I'm saying? So it really took time to make that. And of course, that originally that they couldn't get certain shots they wanted, they had to do it differently. Um, Sometimes it would be tough on the set, things like that. Okay, and mainly they really go in depth about part three. Okay, so yeah, I really liked that. Mainly the band that plays the disco theme. I forgot their name, but of course that they play it live at concerts and stuff like that, or at cafes or whatever. Yeah, that was really good. And also the fact that it was against ET in 1982, and of course it won against ET. Okay, but how do I feel about that? I feel okay about that. That it went against ET, but overall, the movie I think grossed a lot of money, and then it ends from chapter three and it goes into chapter four. Okay, now chapter four I really liked of the documentary because that was my favorite movie, Friday 13th Part Four, the final chapter. Okay, that's my favorite one out of the whole franchise. So mainly them talking about some of the new stuff. I think the only one I can remember is Corey Feldman was sick on the set, and mainly what happened was he had to go in for that shooting of the day. Of course, where he gets the machete and he says, "Die, die," that thing. And the movie grossed a lot of money. Okay, and then mainly that chapter ends, and then we go on to chapter five, which is Friday the 13th, Part Five, A New Beginning. Okay, now mainly the director was a director of porn, but this is oddly weird because it's like, hey, you're directing a Friday the 13th film. But well enough, that explains why there's so much boobs in Friday the 13th Part 5. And almost every couple of shots. Okay, I'm not going to even lie about that, alright? So that explains that. I don't know if there was any new stuff there, maybe. Um, I can't remember because I watched it yesterday, okay? And I can't remember that much, I'm sorry, okay? But mainly here and there, some new stuff, and it ends from chapter 5 and it goes on to chapter 6. Jason Lives, okay? Now, I think there was only one new thing, and that, of course, was the backstory on Jason's dad. I don't know exactly, I can't remember. But all I could say is, I think they put that in the novelization. And also that it was really tough for them on the set, this and this and that. The director um, imagined that he was gonna shoot it this way, but they told him you have to shoot it that way. So yeah, they really go in depth. Okay, and then it ends from chapter 6 and it goes on to chapter 7. Okay, and no, wait a minute, my mistake. I think it ended. Yeah, I'm right. Maybe I'm right. It ended from chapter 6, and they talk about the Friday 13th series, the series. Okay, the television series. But mainly I missed out on that, so I don't know anything about that. But what I do know of is the show got canceled because of, I guess you could say, the churches got mad that they were using like cult stuff and this and that, whatever. Okay, so then on after that, then I think it goes to chapter 7, I believe. Okay, so yeah, mainly the whole thing of this and that. I don't think there was really anything new there. Maybe I missed out on it. I'm not sure. Okay. But anyways, that was good, and also it ends from chapter 7 and it goes into chapter 8, which is Jason Takes Manhattan, or as I like to call it, Jason Takes the Titanic, basically. Okay, so mainly they was talking about this and this and that, da, 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 and I don't think there was anything new there. Okay. And then it goes from chapter 8 to chapter 9, which is Jason Goes to Hell. Now, that one I really liked, okay, and also that's my second favorite movie, alright? Now, yes, there was one new thing, and they talked about originally that they made a big demon and they wanted to put that in the movie, but it did not work, okay? It just did not work for the movie, alright? And yeah, I think after that it just ended, and then pretty much they go on to Jason X, which I was okay with, It was still a good part of the documentary, don't get me wrong, but mainly that part of the documentary made me want to fall asleep for some odd reason. And then when it got to Freddy versus Jason, yeah, that's when I really liked it. Okay, and then it went to the reboot when I was just like, okay, I don't really care because I don't like the reboot anyways. But I still watched it, but it was kind of boring for that that last part of the documentary. Okay, I'm not gonna even lie. For me, okay, for me. And then overall, the last and final chapter of the documentary is, of course, they talk about, um, how the franchise lived on and this and that and whatever. And then, of course, it ends with Corey Feldman saying this and this and that. And mainly he puts on the Jason mask. And, it was a very good ending to this documentary. Also, the documentary is good in some parts, but I feel that this had like a few flaws in it, but not really. This still gets a 5 out of 5. Okay, and also, what I could say is keep your his name was Jason. Okay, because that had interviews from other people that was not in this documentary. So keep that. Do not sell that. Okay. And overall, I'm just gonna say that this documentary gets a thumbs up, and wish me luck on getting the bonus disc off of somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna get it from, but whatever. So yeah, I would say, get this documentary and enjoy it, and take breaks from it because it's gonna be way too long for you. To get like some popcorn or whatever and stuff like that. Alright, I know this wasn't a perfect review, but anyways, I am out. Peace.